All right, we're going to wrap it up for you here on Lowcountry Money Talk. Phil Bloyd has been giving us expert advice all along the way. And here's where we're going to give maybe some real action plans in terms of how to really have the best financial picture.
Yeah, sure.
So it's been good. One of the things you discuss with us oftentimes, Phil, is buckets. You know, we're thinking about these sort of 3 different buckets. We've got our income bucket, our equity growth bucket, and our emergency fund bucket. But we don't always think about taxes. And when we started scratching the surface of that, at least I'll say I don't always think about it. We scratched the surface a little bit and you said, you know what, you might have a hole in your bucket.
Yeah.
What do we do?
What good is a bucket with a hole in it? You know, you're gonna throw it away.
Yeah.
So if we think about especially our deferred bucket, our tax deferred bucket, this again could be an IRA, 401k, 403b, whatever. So we deferred all of these dollars that we would have paid in taxes. But the problem is not only did we defer those dollars, but we deferred all the dollars that they've become.
Okay,
So compound interest and all that, right?
Yes.
So now I have this huge bucket with all of this money that came from my IRA, 401k, and guess what? It's all got a tax lien on it. So I think that's all my money, but guess what?
It's not.
Some of it's not.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a third or more is not.
Right.
And these days, I think we're shooting around a $30 trillion debt. There's just been another bill. One is been signed, another one's come down. So we're going to spend another $1 trillion. We're not supposed to spend any money in inflation because that cheapens the dollar and causes more inflation. So that'll be a bone I pick later. But let's just say,
that's a whole nother show.
how can we use we've been talking about how to use the economic decline to kind of help us save taxes.
Yeah.
So I have a bucket. I fill the bucket. Your bucket is filled with money.
Okay,
Doesn't
good.
that sound-
Hey, yeah, where is that bucket?
I think it's right over here. It's filled with money, but it has a huge hole in it. And as I'm walking this bucket back to my house, there's dollars falling out of this hole.
Yeah.
And those dollars are going to Washington, D.C., or what I call the large black hole that makes a huge sucking sound, okay? That's where, so that money is going to DC.
Okay.
So our idea would be is we want to have a bucket that we can make with no hole.
Yeah.
So if we walk back to our house with that bucket, trade the dollars for water, and there's a big hole, by the time I get to my porch, maybe I only have a half a bucket of water.
Right.
That's not going to last as long.
It's not.
So we want to have a whole bucket, right?
And it's so interesting how you're utilizing the down market to make some positive motion.
Sure.
There.
What if we could take our bucket that we've had in this deferred account and we could say, well, remember, this is we talked about using the equity portion first.
Yes.
So let's say the equity portion has $1 million in there, right?
Okay.
And the market is down 20%. So now the equity portion has 800,000.
Yeah.
So it would behoove me to pay taxes on the $1 million while it's worth 800,000.
Right.
Because if I owe taxes, how much will I pay on the 800,000? Now I may not do it all in one tax season because it could put me in a higher bracket.
Yeah.
But I may spread it out over maybe 5 years or so.
Okay.
And then what happens if I take this money? Have you ever heard of the rule of 72?
I don't think so.
The rule of 72 says you take whatever return you're getting and you divide it into 72, and that's how long it takes you to double your money.
Okay.
So we're in a poor market situation now, which means in the future we'll be in an uptick in the market, right? So if I was averaging a rate of 10% return, it would take me 7 years to double my money. So what if I pay the taxes now on what was my $1 million, and 7 years from now that's $2 million, and how much do I owe in taxes on it now?
So yeah,
nothing, because I paid taxes when it was worth $800,000.
you did it when it was down.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
this is what we need to be looking at while we're in a downturn in the market. How can we convert some of these equities over, lock in the stocks, so when they do tick back up, they're coming back, but we've already settled our taxes on the item. So
Wow.
that's what I would say.
That's so smart. I get so into these conversations, Phil, I forget we're in the middle of a show, and
Yeah.
actually that show has to end.
It's over for today. We'll get back next time, though.
We got lots to talk about. We always do. I hope you stick around. Join us on the next one. Lowcountry Money Talk, a great show with expert Phil Bloyd. We'll see you then.